Hey gang, and welcome back to the Stud Pack House Project. It's good to see you. Jordan and I haven't posted in a couple of weeks because we've been really busy behind the scenes. What have we been doing? Well, for starters, Stud Pack made a return trip to Las Vegas. Since this trip to Vegas was only the second time that Jordan and I had ever been there, we wanted to explore the Strip just a little bit more. Now, we weren't there for pleasure. This was a business trip. Jordan and I were back there with the team from Halo Lighting at the 2023 Home Depot Product Walk. What the heck is that? Well, just imagine Home Depot sets up a store, every aisle, every product in the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. All the managers come in from around the country. What was it, 4,000 managers, Jordan, something like that?
Suppliers, merchants, everybody.
Crazy. And they walk through the store, talk to the vendors, and get information from all the vendors about all their products, so hopefully they can pass it on to you when you're shopping at the store. And we went one step further with it. We actually filmed a training video. Well, we were filmed. It was kind of cool to be filmed, and especially cool for me to see Jordan being filmed by somebody else and somebody telling him what to do.
Because normally I'm behind here barking,
right.
But they were pretty nice to you. I know you enjoyed
that.
They
were great. And the video we trained goes into the Home Depot library, so the employees of Home Depot, it's like their own little their own library that they can log into as an employee. Yep, and that's cool. And they can go and research products on their own if they don't have a chance to go to the product walk. And while we were there working on the Halo booth, we were also working remotely on the Stud Pack house. Jordan was on the phone with the architect, emailing the city, because we had some last minute changes on the design that had to conform with the current code. The city where we're at, they just adopted the most recent code, and we had to update everything to conform with that. And so while we were working in the day, Jordan was down at the blackjack tables at night trying to win some money, so hopefully he can come home and pay the city. Did you win anything, dude?
No, but I took that $200 and I stretched it for 3 nights at the blackjack table, so I'm gonna take that as a win.
And then when we came back from Vegas, we hit the ground running. Now you'll see I moved under this tree. That's because it started to rain, and that's another battle we've been fighting over here in Texas in early April. The rain's been killing us, and it's scheduled to rain tomorrow and all day the next day. But behind the scenes, Jordan, he's the property owner, he's the designer, he's the filmer and the editor, really the financier too, right?
Yeah.
And the scheduler. He's been spending a ton of time scheduling all the different trades, inspections, etc. So if you ever talk to somebody and they say, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm the scheduler for so-and-so construction. That's what they do, and it's a full-time job, believe me.
But everything that we're doing behind the scenes, Dad, is we're just getting all our ducks in a row, so that way we can go full steam ahead with this project. And you know what, man? I think we're there.
I think we are.
Finally.
Yeah, that steel arrives tomorrow.
Right.
We're going to start putting down the vapor barrier and start laying some steel. And that is going to be an epic job. There is about 2 tons of steel just in this slab right here.
And we've never laid steel before, and we're going to be in these trenches getting it done, so that's going to be exciting. Those videos are coming soon. We're excited to get back on the horse. Sorry we were gone for so long, but that's what it takes. I mean, we needed 2 or 3 weeks to work hard behind the scenes, get everything ready. But we've not just the steel. We've got the lumber packages being rendered, designed. We're making lumber decisions. Those are coming in soon. And we've got a pretty big trip planned in a couple of weeks, so we're also planning for that as well, but we won't tell them about that just yet.
That's true. And your concrete finisher is texting you all the time,
Yep,
wondering when are we going to be ready?
Ready to go.
So he's back there waiting, and I know this thing's going to get poured. Probably in the morning they'll do this thing. And then hopefully we go on that trip, come back, our lumber will be on site, we start framing this garage.
We're about to be producing some epic content right here, and no more 3-week hiatuses, hopefully.
No more, promise. Now in our excitement to get this slab poured, what we were going to do, put down our vapor barrier, put down the rebar, and pour the slab. As far as the plumbing's concerned, we were simply going to, for example, this is where our stack comes down from the second floor for all our plumbing. We were just going to put a piece of pipe here and 90 out over here and tie into it later. But then we happened to call an actual plumber. He said, you know what, why don't I come over there and take a look at it? He did. Said, you know what, I can send a crew over there tomorrow and get the plumbing done. Let's do that, go the shortest distance instead of going all across the driveway like you guys were planning. It's going to be much better. And we don't have a lot of fall as it turned out anyway. So they're on the way. Let's get this plumbing in the ground. Check it out. The plumbers are here roughing in the plumbing under the garage slab. That's exciting for us. That means we can get on the shovels, put down some vapor barrier, and hopefully start laying some steel this week. They're already hard at work. Let's go back there and check out what they're doing. As you can see right here, first though, we've got PVC pipe. That's what we use in our jurisdiction when we lived in California. It was ABS. And they already dug a hole and confirmed that the sewer is sloped towards the street. We kind of already knew that because there's a sewer manhole at the street, but you just never know. Like the house where I live in, the easement is actually in the backyard and the sewer goes to the backyard and slopes to the main back there. Now, just to remind everybody, down here, 2-car garage. Upstairs, full living quarters with a bathroom and a little kitchenette. And the bathroom is going to be basically right above me. This is an outdoor porch right here. So we have a toilet and a sink and a shower right above me. So right here, this yellow line is going to represent a 3-inch line coming across. We're going to pop up right here. This line right here, we got this Y. We're going to come off 2-inch and pop up right here and catch the little kitchenette. That's going to be great. And then also, either off this 2-inch or off this 3-inch, we're going to put a drain for a sink in the garage. I think that's really going to be helpful for us later, or building a house. Clean paintbrushes, clean fish, all that stuff. All right, now we're gonna have 3-inch. We're gonna come across, probably over here somewhere. We're gonna transition to 4-inch because that's what they're tying into. And that's what they're doing right over here. So the very first thing they did this morning, they started digging right here to see where to tie in with the line. Now, unfortunately, all this was 2-inch, but they did uncover this 2-inch clean out, which is also pointing to the street, another indication that the sewer is flowing that direction. So they came over here about 10 feet away, dug another test hole, and we got lucky. We found 4-inch PVC, and that's what we're tying into right now. Y'all call those no hubs or fern coes here?
These are mission bands.
Mission band. Yeah, everybody's got their own.
Right.
Yeah.
Fern coes are nothing but rubber.
Right.
Then you got no hubs. Those are 2 bands.
Okay.
Those are only for bends.
Right.
And then you got mission bands.
The 4 band. All right. All right, guys, let's show you what they did. Here's our existing 4-inch PVC, again, headed towards the street. So they cut a section out that would accommodate their new 4-inch Y with a little piece of 4-inch PVC glued into each end. Now they use 4-strap couplings right here. That's required on the water side. On a vent side, they said you can get away with a 2-strap, no hub, but right here, 4-strap is what code's gonna require. Now you notice this is pointed up. They're gonna lay it over. The reason it's pointed up right now, somebody uses the laundry or the sink in the laundry or something like that, the water's not going to fall and drain into the pit. It's just going to go on out. Later on, they're going to loosen these, lay that horizontal, and tie into the line they're running now.
That sounds like one of those little things that you do when it's like happened before and you're like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Exactly.
Again.
Now the other thing, why couldn't they glue this hub of the Y onto this pipe? Well, if you would have done that, you would have never gotten this piece of pipe in there and been able to get this on there. The only way to do it is to dig all this up where Jordan is, lift this pipe up, put that on, then drop it down and put this guy on. That's the reason they use 2. But this is all ready to go for the tie-in. They're all busy digging right now. Let me get out of this hole and we'll head on to the next step. You know what?
Who's that at?
A viewer sent me one of those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab it. I forgot about that till you were talking about it. I think it goes to 4. Oh, it's half-inch square drive. You can use a Hey, did your primer brush break off in the can?
Yeah.
Check it out. I got it. I got everything back there, dude.
That's cool.
I had the same thing happen, so I ordered a bag of those
Right?
because it's a drag. All right, no charge.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
That's the clean out. They just stub it up so you don't lose it, right? Yeah.
Oh.
All right, guys, we are all wrapped up, just under 4 hours. So let's break it down for you. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is I had the little extra daubers for the cement and the primer, right? And I
Right.
had the bevel tool. But how did I ever miss a fall level? I had never heard of that. This thing is cool. So this is like a regular vial on a torpedo level, but this one is graduated, 1/8 of a fall, quarter fall, 3/8, half. That thing's really cool. And I appreciate that a lot. I'm gonna put it in my pocket.
Right on.
Now let's talk about some of these fittings down here. I'm gonna scoot over here. We already talked about the Y, and we got a test tee. It comes with a threaded cap, but for now we have, what do you call this? It's a test plug, right?
Yes, sir. Clean seal.
A clean seal, and it's pneumatic. So you had a pump out here, a little pneumatic pump, and you pump it full of just what? You just like a
Just air.
bicycle tire,
Yep.
just till you know from experience that it's gonna seal.
Right.
And it's forming a seal in there. And this side of the pipe, all of it is completely full of water, right?
Yes, sir.
Once we pass inspection, you'll just come remove that plug, put the cap in there, and all that water is just gonna drain away.
Right on.
Cool. All right, then we got a 45, and this is a clean out, right? In both ways. The snake can go this direction towards Jordan or towards the backyard.
Yes, sir.
You always put that in?
Always put a two-way in that way, because you never know if if the clog's 3 inches or 4 foot up like this, you don't have to go pull a toilet and
Gotcha.
run it down a toilet. You can
Perfect.
just run it straight through there.
And after inspection, you'll cut this off what? Down here and put a clean out on there?
Yes, sir.
With the same thing, a threaded cap.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we got two 45s instead of a 90.
Right.
Talk to me about that.
Well, a 90 is so short.
Right.
So whenever code says that you're supposed to have a 245s for a 90, and then you want to double the size of your pipe for whatever piece of pipe you go in between it. So if you got 4-inch pipe, you want to put an 8-inch piece in between your 245s.
Got it.
And that makes your code. So it'd be the same thing, 3-inch pipe, you put a 6-inch piece
Perfect.
dead in between them. It just makes it easier for the flow.
So yeah, even if you used a long sweep 90 here, this is much better.
This is much better.
And then what's our fall on this? You got an 1/8 inch
You
on
got
the
an
4-inch?
You got an 1/8 inch on the 4-inch.
And then did you change it to the 3-inch?
Yes, right
Right.
up here, right where we transition to go hit the kitchen sink and then go upstairs to your bathroom, we switched over to 3-inch, and we got a 3x2 combo in, or 3x2Y, and we
Yep.
just shoot it straight up.
Yep. So this is 3, and that's 2. And here's a 4-inch coupling with a 4x3 bushing inside of it.
Yes, sir.
Did you use the same
No,
fall
so
on the 3-inch?
No, so 3-inch and 2-inch is 1/4-inch fall.
Okay.
So we went from 1/8 inch fall right here, then we bumped it up to 1/4-inch fall
Quarter.
for the 3-inch and for the 2-inch.
Now we could have run 3-inch all the way, right? Because we only have one bathroom here.
Right,
But you just had the 4, and we figured we got the shop sink, so let's just go ahead and put the 4-inch in there.
right.
I like that.
I like to overdo it every now and then.
Of course. Me too.
A little extra's
You fit
better.
right in.
Yeah, a little extra's better than less,
Yeah.
you know?
And then over here you got the stakes, and they're serving really two purposes, right? It's
Yeah.
keeping this plumb,
Right.
but it's also supporting it because now this is full of water and it's very heavy.
Right.
So that's what that's doing. Cool.
Yep. It'll break if it didn't have the stake or nothing on it, it's possible it could break the fitting loose or anything like that.
Yeah, this 3-inch line is full of water. It could put a lot of stress right here.
Yes, sir.
Right? Cool.
And bust that coupling loose.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. Yes. That's hence the stakes everywhere.
All right. Now you also said it's kind of cool that we already dug our grade beams because it's forecast to be raining. So if this thing were to fill with water, you said this can actually float, right?
Yeah, your pipe will actually float up out of the ground.
Even though it's full of water,
Even though it's full of
it's
water.
still going to float.
Yes, sir.
Because the plastic is lighter than water, right?
Right.
All right, so that's cool. You did backfill it a little bit just to keep it down. That's cool. Now let's go talk about this 10-foot ahead that we got over here on the water, right?
Okay.
So we've already called for inspection, right?
Yes, sir.
Inspector's going to come over here, and I'm not going to do it, but he's going to shake this, And his expectation is water's going to come out of the top.
Right, right. So I mean, if we could,
Yep.
you know, a little tap, get a little bit of water out of there.
Right.
But yeah, as long as if they shake it, they just got to shake it to get the water out. You know, it keeps them from getting on a ladder and having to climb up and this and that.
Sure.
And then that puts all the pressure on the fittings to where you're going to have good 5 to 10 pounds of pressure.
And if he shakes it and no water comes out,
It's a fail.
it's a fail.
You got to come back and find the leak. A lot of times it's a test ball, but
We can't just fill it back up with water, right?
Right.
Okay. Nobody does that. All right, well, cool. We'll have inspection. We'll call you back, and you'll come put the cap on, or the plug in the test tee. We'll cut this off, backfill. That's
Yep.
it.
And you'll be good to go.
All right, man.
Ready to pour concrete.
Great job. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks
brother.
to you and your crew. And you know,
Thank
the,
you.
the last thing I want to say, I really appreciate y'all cleaned up all your trash. That is one of my pet peeves, when subcontractors leave their water bottles and stuff everywhere.
Right.
Super appreciate that.
Not a problem, brother.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Y'all have a good one.
Y'all be good. Hey, Jimmy, I need your mic, man.
Oh,
Here, I'll trade you.
we'll trade.
All right.
That'll work.
Cool, man.
Appreciate
See ya. All right, guys, the plumbers are all done for today. Inspection is scheduled for tomorrow. They're confident, so are we. We'll check you tomorrow after inspection. All right, guys, it is the next day. We passed inspection, and the boys are back, and they're going to put all their caps and plugs on and backfill everything, and the plumbing, the rough plumbing, will be all done under the slab.
Talk about your 6-inch sleeves, correct?
All right, gang, the plumbers just left, and we were kind of worried about them hand digging this. They actually brought a machine, but they just hand dug it, and this select fill dug pretty easily, I guess because it's wet. We've been fighting this rain the whole time.
Yeah, I like that because we know that we're gonna have to dig all of this. We're gonna have to clean up these grade beams
We
pretty
got
soon.
a lot of cleanup to do.
Yeah, so we're actually gonna be doing that in the next couple videos, getting these grade beams nice and prepared. So it's nice to see that they didn't struggle with it. So now I know that we won't struggle with it.
Yep, and in case any of you are wondering, there was one item on the inspection report from the rough plumbing that they do have to come back and complete, but they do that later after we're done cleaning all this out. And what is that? They have to sleeve these pipes with another pipe that is 2 pipe diameters larger than this one. So on this 4 and the 3, they'll just use a piece of 6-inch. They slit it, snap it over this, and that keeps this from being encased in concrete. And on the 2-inch, of course, they'll just use a piece of 4-inch. Oh, I'm stuck, bud. Give me a hint.
Yeah, I got you.
Jeez.
So
And
I'm,
they're heavy.
I'm wondering, you know, on this beam right here, there's not a lot of load here because we got the open garage, so it's not like there's going to be a wall bearing down on that 4-inch right here. But over here, we've got a massive 2x6 wall, and then the second story, of course, with the roof and the beam load. We got a steel beam going across here, so all that load's going to be dispersed, but on the exterior of the building. We've got this pipe and that pipe, so I wonder, you know, how the pipe is going to respond to being in that concrete, being sleeved. I wonder what the science behind all that is. Maybe they can let us know in the comments.
I think the sleeve is just going to give the pipe room to move inside the sleeve. And I've seen guys wrap this. There's different products for that, just so this isn't encased in concrete and it can move a little bit.
Right, well, they don't know about this, but when you first moved here into your new house,
Oh my
your
gosh.
foundation actually had settled on a plumbing line that was running from one side of the house to the other. It created a huge sag in the pipe, which
Pulled-
caused a massive plumbing backup.
Yep.
It was horrible. So they had to tunnel underneath your house. You had people tunneling underneath your
Yes.
house for like 2 months straight.
Yes.
So I'm like really frightened about concrete sitting on PVC. So I've got like nightmares about that.
Right.
And I didn't even live it. That was you.
Right, and so even though this slab is not going to settle just because of all the dirt work,
Right.
if it ever does, it's not going to pull this down with it.
Nice.
Cool.
Do these stakes stay, do you think? The metal stakes?
Yeah, they're going to get encased in the concrete.
Nice. I like that.
And if you go to a job site, you'll see them sticking up.
Okay.
Yep.
But that's going to be a wrap, guys. This plumbing process was honestly pretty simple. These guys came in and knocked it out in 2 days. I'm always impressed by how fast these guys go.
Yeah, and the first day was just like 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
And then today, maybe an hour.
Maybe an
They
hour.
had to put, they had to take off our 10-foot stack, put the clean out there, remove the plug, cap it, and backfill. They were in and out of here, lickety split.
Every time somebody gets on this job site, just for this garage door, I was like, oh yeah, that's an easy garage. It's a small garage. So I'm hoping that when we're actually framing and building and stuff, we're like, oh yeah, small garage, easy garage.
We just want that to continue.
I hope
right?
it translates when we start doing the work.
All right, so very next step, we got a lot of cleanup to do in the grade beam. Put down our vapor barrier. We got to fix the forms.
Yep.
And then start putting down the rebar. So if you have any tips on putting down the vapor barrier or putting down all that steel, please let us know in the comments. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and those tips are gonna be super appreciated, gang, because a lot of the times we're noticing these guys who come out to work, they've got these little tips and tricks up their sleeve that you know that they only have because they experienced the worst only one time. The concrete guy, for example, was giving us tons of advice on the forms and the cave-ins,
Right.
and the plumbers were talking about, you know, these metal stakes are acting as a support because the weight of the water snapped the pipe. How do you think he learned that? Also, we heard stories of PVC floating to the top through concrete. How do you think they learned that? They wouldn't know that on their first go-around. This is our first go-around, so that's why the tips are super appreciated.
Yeah, so that's going to be a wrap on this video. Just like Jordan said, make sure your like button is staked to the form so it doesn't come up out of the ground. Smash it for us, ask a question, drop a comment. Please subscribe, check out studpack.com for merch,
Yep.
and we'll see you on our very next video where we're finishing the slab and getting it ready to build.